guys, welcome back to Millennial Moms. I'm Tay. So that means it is a Tuesday. I'm sharing with you guys a fun duct tape tutorial. So make sure that you are subscribed to Millennial Moms. Let's get started. So I'm going to show you guys a couple bags that I did with duct tape and fabric, and all you're going to need is a hot glue gun, some type of cutting tool, a mat to cut your duct tape on, some fabric, a stapler, and some Velcro, which might sound like a lot, but it is really fun and it's a project that is super easy. So we're just going to take some fabric out. I like to use my Cricut mat because it's sticky and it helps me get my fabric nice and flat, plus I can cut on it, so it helps be served for both purposes. So I'm just going to cut out a rectangle, and this can be as big as you want it, but you can just eyeball it, or you can measure if you want to make your bag specifically a specific size. So then we're just going to cover the wrong side of the fabric with our duct tape. You'll notice when these are done that they will be fabric on the outside and duct tape on the inside. I'm just going to leave a little lip on one side for folding that over to the inside, and then I'm going to trim up the edges, leaving a little bit of duct tape still hanging over the fabric so that the outsides are a little bit sticky. This will help the bag stay together, but we're also going to staple it. So then we're going to fold it up, and I'm going to leave that lip just so I can fold it down later. And then this is the difference between the two bags. One will have these little squares cut out of the bottom, so make sure you measure and get those squares exactly the same. I usually like to do about 1 inch by 1 inch, and just make sure that they're the same size, or the same size on both sides. And then once you have those done, you're going to open it up just to make sure that it's all good, and then fold it back closed. I'm going to finish off the tops to make sure that there's no raw edges showing, and then I'm just going to prepare another piece of duct tape by cutting it into little strips, because we're going to need this to cover up all of our staples later. And staples is just a different way of sewing for these types of projects. I wouldn't recommend them on, like, I don't know, clothing or anything like that, but for little bags and things like that, it actually is fun and it works really good, and then it's also a fun project for kids to do. So I'm just going to fold over the top and use some of the strip to secure both of those, the top and the bottom, and then we're going to fold it up with the right sides together, matching up those edges, and we're just going to go along the sides with staples, almost like you're sewing it together. So I'll just start at one end and then work my way all the way up to the top, and then once that's done, I'll go on to the other side and do the other side as well. So the two different bags will have the square versus not the square cut out. And so I'm just going to cover up those edges with duct tape so that none of the staples are sticking out, so when you put your hands in these, they don't scratch you or stick out, and then it'll also help secure all the edges. So then we're going to close up that square by opening up the bag and creating a straight seam. This is the same way you would sew a makeup bag if you did want to know how to sew one. The same exact thing, we're just using duct tape and obviously staples instead of sewing. So I'm just going to cover up all my edges, make sure that they are fully secure before we turn it right side out, and just give it a look one more time and then flip it right side out. This takes a little bit of work and just to get it all perfect because the duct tape is pretty stiff, but the reason I like this is the duct tape is waterproof and it's also a protective barrier to the fabric, so that if you spill makeup or pencils inside of it, it doesn't bleed to the outside and the fabric will stay nice and clean. And then we're going to close that up, but I'm going to show you how I did the other one, which is just a regular square, and this makes kind of a fun little pouch that you can put pencils in, or I was showing you how I put my external hard drive in it and to carry it around in my laptop bag, but it's really just a fun little really simple way. You just don't cut the squares and you just do the sides. And then we're going to turn that one right side out. And once we have that ready, I'm going to show you how we do Velcro. You can also use snaps, kind of how we did on the duct tape wallets. But this one I thought Velcro would be fun. I've also used zippers before, and the other bag that I've shown you in the intro and the outro is another bag that I will be doing on my channel if you'd like to check that one out. So I'm just going to hot glue some Velcro, and Velcro is really inexpensive at the craft store. It's like $1 when it's on sale for like 3 feet of it. So it's a really fun, one of those craft things that you should have around at all times because Velcro is really awesome. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that on both of my bags so that they close, and then just make sure they're fully dry before you try to open and close them because it will pull the Velcro off. And then make sure you get it also on the fabric so that when you open it, it's not just holding on to the duct tape, it's actually holding on to the fabric. Alright guys, I hope you loved it. I know you guys always love the duct tape stuff, so let me know in the comments below what other duct tape things that you want to know how to make. If you guys want to see yesterday's video, check right here. And if you guys want to see more of me from Millennial Moms, check right here. And if you're not subscribed to Millennial Moms, crazy, make sure you're checking out right there. If you want to see more of me, I'm Auntie Tay. I'm always talking to you guys below. I love you guys.